Hey guys, it's Em. And truth be told, I didn't have a video ready for today, so I'm gonna knock out a topic from a video I wanted to do ages ago. I want to blabber about Gemini from Clash just a little bit longer. I'm hoping if you're watching this video you saw my last one, but there I said she was an interesting character with a subtly told story. I just wanted to dive a bit more into that. Also, since this character is an endgame threat, I'm going to be talking about the endgame spoilers here. You've been warned. Gemini is, well, like most others in this game, very unique in her design. She's very big physically. She's one of the most imposing figures in the game. Even when we look at her introduction, the camera work is sure to reinforce this fact. She towers over Pseudo the moment she gets close to him. Even when the camera reverse shot focuses on him, her shadow completely covers him. To add insult to injury, the moment she gets sick of Pseudo, she simply tosses him out the window as if he's some paperweight or something. At a glance, she looks like a very dumb brute kind of character. Like she'd only speak in grunts and be a minion for the true big bad of the plot. Even her theme starts off pretty intense, like it matches that sort of character. But when she talks, it's clear she's smarter than most of the cast. She's not snappy or flat out aggressive, she keeps a cool head but isn't afraid to remind Pseudo of her position and the power she holds. Unlike pretty much all of the other opposing cast who not every appearance talk about who or where they want to be, oftentimes due to a position they want by her side. And again, back onto the theme thing, I would say that her theme evolves into more of a regal sounding tone in the middle section, really emphasizing that while she does look like a brute, she really isn't. All of these things together really help reinforce her grand status over all of the other characters you run into. She's the one who rules over this land currently, and is also the one sending the other characters after our main pair. She's not just a strong goon, but a powerful ruler with strength of her own elite enforcers, and the ability to maintain power through the one law that she put into place. Notice it or not, her influence hangs over Pseudo and the boy the entire game. It could end here. She could just want the boy to kill him for some evil reason, and seem like the calm but vicious dictator type. But if you pay attention to her dialogue and design, it's very clear there's a bit more going on than just her against us. Just by looking at her, you can see she has two main heads and a few others that seem dead or unable to do anything, even having some not fully grown limbs sticking out of a few of them, like small legs or arms. It's kind of unsettling once you notice it. The first head seems to be what she means to say, but the second head appears to just say her inner thoughts. Also, note this for a bit later, the second head talks significantly weaker than the first. I don't think it's much of a jump to come to the conclusion that Gemini is dying. Pseudo says as much when he's tossed from her tower.
So why is old Gemini so keen on getting her hands on you? What makes her think you can keep her better half from rotting away?
We never see her at a point where the other heads were alive, but I don't think it's much of a jump to say that beforehand they could have been, and now she's only been left with two. There's a bit of tragedy in it. While I personally believe Gemini is simply one being, as her and her other remaining heads seem to be on the same page about things, you could read into it as these other heads being maybe siblings, or in short some other beings with different personalities, fallen and deformed on her body. Either or scenario is unfortunate, but one I'd argue is a lot worse than the other. This comes full circle now, as you might be asking, why would she need the boy? Given her introduction and her next scene are hours apart, some may have forgotten she makes it very clear she needs the boy alive.
But listen to me very carefully. You and every other meathead mercenary is going to have to remember this. I need the child alive. If he's dead, he can't help me.
And the second head chimes in saying to heal her.
Heal me.
To move to the boy for a second, because for context I have to, the boy's ability is to link things together. When one of the things he links is hurt, they both hurt. And when one is healing, they both appear to be healing. He can also use this ability to transfer energy from one person to another. This is shown in the scene where the boy's brother gives his energy to Pseudo using the boy as a conduit. It appears she wants the boy for the purpose of keeping her other head alive, if not to revive her other heads as well. She's falling apart, and the boy is the only real solution to her problem. I find this very interesting because I feel in most other stories with a heroic protagonist, they'd find some way to resolve this conflict with the boy healing her, but then going back with Pseudo and staying under his protection. That would be the straight, simple way to write this. But Pseudo isn't a super heroic type protagonist. He isn't fighting for the greater good or to save the world. He's fighting because the boy gave him purpose. This is made very clear in the final scene of the game, where Pseudo says he doesn't care about the world.
I don't care. I don't care about your grand plan. I don't care about Xenozoic or whatever the cack there is on the other side of the mountains. He's my son, and nobody gets to take him away.
He's not the gruff but focused protag someone like Kratos is in the new God of War games. Through his interactions, it's clear he's kind of a selfish, immature guy that was making it through life in his own sort of way. He's fighting for his own happiness, which Gemini stands in the way of. That's the reason she has to be defeated. So we have a character fighting to pretty much stay alive, then we have another character who's fighting to maintain his way of life. In a way, you could argue they are mirrors of each other. Gemini wants the boy and doesn't care who she has to deal with to save herself. And Pseudo wants to protect the boy and doesn't care who he has to deal with to do so. It's really interesting when you dig into it. But why did I go off on this little side tangent about Pseudo and the type of character he is, right after saying most other stories probably wouldn't end like this one does? Well, it's because I think that due to that, the conclusion for Gemini's plotline is kinda sad. Pseudo defeats her. This then leads to her saying,
If I was healthy, if I was whole, I would never have been defeated.
Seemingly referring to if all of her heads were alive. But then her other head, who I want you to remember is the one that says her inner thoughts on things, chimes in and says,
It was always too much power, too much greed. I am tired. I am so very tired.
It's not the tough exterior we've seen from her so far. It's a more vulnerable side that seems to show she didn't even really like her position and what came with it. To me, it sort of led to this takeaway that either A, she became a ruler and eventually grew sick of the role, or B, what I personally think, she became a ruler to find a solution to her slowly dying body. It was taking a toll on her mentally, but to fix herself, it's what she had to do.
You gave me no choice.
Choice? You think I had a choice?
I don't care.
What kills me is they never fix her. She's left the way she was, broken and dying. After defeating her, Pseudo just leaves, and this is her final scene in the entire story. This music doesn't seem triumphant either. It's just from the intensity of her battle track to a more somber, sad tone. The only hope of her fixing herself disappearing right in front of her. What's worse is that at the end of the game, the boy decides to leave in hopes that he can fix the world and others. While this is sad for us in Pseudo, from Gemini's perspective, not only did she lose the fight and Pseudo take him away, but now he's not even on the same planet as her. And to top everything off, the only thing she had to hold power, which was her artifact, is burned in the post-credit scene. And the wildest part about all of this is Gemini herself only has 3 scenes in the entire game. This entire video and everything I've said has been based off of 3 bits the plot gives us of her. It really shows how strong storytelling can be even in short bursts. I think she's a tragic antagonist that is really overlooked when it comes to good storytelling. Clash already isn't a super well-known game, and I find that upsetting too, but Gemini is probably skimmed over more than she should be when it comes to what we were given, just because she isn't physically there most of the game. And without paying attention, she might just seem like a bad force the player has to stop, which I think is a disservice to her character. But anyways, I've been yapping long enough and I'm happy to get this video off my chest. Her and a certain other character I always thought were way more interesting than they were given credit for. But what do you guys think? As long as you're respectful, I'm glad to discuss with you in the comments, and I've been Nick, and I am out.